All right, it is Friday. We're heading into the Alabama weekend. Lots going on here. So let's get right into what we can expect from a weather standpoint. We have a weather system that's coming through. It poses a marginal severe risk. We'll detail where that is. Highest rain chance is going to be to the west of I-65. Models have really backed off. We have a bit of a wedging scenario in place, which is where we have an easterly flow that's more stable and typically has less moisture associated with it, and that's going to deter our rain chances. We turn much cooler on Monday, and that's going to be statewide here, and it'll start to actually feel like fall beginning next week. So this is the SPC outlook. This will run from Saturday morning to early Sunday morning. So about 7 a.m. Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday. And you'll see depicted as a marginal risk for places like Birmingham, Huntsville, Aliceville, Tuscaloosa, Monroeville, Atmore. And then as you go to the east, that threat drops off considerably. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that threat could probably be trimmed even further to the west, but it will undoubtedly be something that we watch here. It is a very low end threat. It is not a tornado threat. This would be for some gusty winds, possible on a decaying MCS line. So let's start this at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Set the table here. We are dry across the entire state on Saturday, and then we move into Saturday night. Early Sunday morning, this is at 1 o'clock, and you can see the remnants of a decent line along this frontal boundary because there's going to be instability to the west. And you'll notice when I move this forward, it's still showing pretty good rain coming down from Huntsville to Birmingham to Tuscaloosa at 3 a.m. And then by 6 o'clock, it has already moved to the eastern half of the state. And the time this is certainly accelerated. It likely be out of most of Alabama by 10 o'clock. Places to far south and east, and maybe northeast Alabama by about noon. So it should be too disruptive to your day. It turns breezy, it turns cooler on Sunday afternoon. So here's a limiting factor with respect to this system. This is a look at instability values, and this is the energy that storms need to get going. So you have the fuel that causes things to move vertically, and that's what you need in order to get a strong thunderstorm is that good vertical energy, high profile thunderstorms, and then a little bit of wind shear to really sustain these overnight. And we won't have all that lining up. Of course, the front comes through, it'll be a little bit shear on the front, but our instability values, that line comes through, it really is focused in southwest Alabama, but that part of the state doesn't have the wind shear. So far from below, and it's on the southern end of the front, there's not going to be that same forcing. And then by the time we get to daybreak, there's no instability in the northern half of the state, at least according to the GFS. And we're probably looking at just rain, very light rain at that point before it fizzles out. So this is a look at the 7-day rain totals, and again, most of this will occur, if not all of it, on Saturday night or early Sunday morning. This is a look at the totals. In fact, let's switch this just out of curiosity to see the short term. So we'll go days 1 through 3. And you can see here when I take all that off, the majority of the rain is coming from this weekend, if not all of it. So about 3/4 of an inch in East Alabama, an inch, maybe an inch and a half, as that line first gets into the western side of the state. So again, good beneficial rains. I don't see this as being a true severe threat, so not true severe threat, but much of one anyways. Of course, we have ways to be notified because overnight stuff, it can be sneaky. So, all right, we talked about this one week. Our Talladega forecast, and again, with the accelerated timeline, I really have no rain chance, 12 o'clock. We'll see that. Our temperatures going to be falling quickly, though. Started this one, mid-70s. By the end, we're in the mid-60s. It's going to be breezy as well. So, if you're on those grandstands, I've said that before, it can be pretty wide open with respect to the breeze there. So, go to tonight, and we'll give you our temperature profile through the weekend. We'll be in the 60s on Saturday morning as that more humid unstable mass begins to move in southerly winds. I think on Saturday are expected to be in the mid to upper 80s, and it looks like by Sunday, so this is a little misleading. We will wake up to temperatures in the mid 60s on Sunday. This will not be all over there. Our low temperature is actually going to be only in the low 50s for many spots, upper 50s for southern Alabama, because we'll hit that level, that cooler air by Sunday night. So no traditional low temperature there. And then Sunday and Monday's highs are going to be falling throughout the day, so also a tough one to peg there. So let's see our temperatures from Sunday afternoon into Monday morning. We'll stop this at 11 o'clock. This is those lows on Sunday, but it'll be misleading. Our temperatures in the morning will be mid upper 60s, maybe 70s. The south, we're going to drop to a much cooler level by the evening. That's going to mean our lows will verify much cooler. And then you can see by Monday morning, we're looking at a lot of 40s across the state, even as far south as Auburn, maybe in Demopolis. How about 51 in Monroeville and Andalusia, and mid-50s for the Wiregrass region. Don't get too excited about it. But warming trend could be on the way for the final 2 weeks in October. That's not to say that it will be like that the whole time, but leaning slightly above average. Again, could be a degree or two above average, not necessarily a heat wave, but we'll watch that and move forward. Go check out the tropics. There's the remnant of. And there's a look at the NHC outlook for the next 7 days. And we'll watch this area in particular. It's down here in the Southern Caribbean. Right now, we'll have to watch anytime you get a low and more large time here. There's watching. So a track like this is where we would go towards Nicaragua, or these can steer to the Gulf. So certainly not a concern at the moment. But as always, that'll be something that we keep an eye on here as we move forward. So that is our discussion as we head into the weekend. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. Enjoy that heat and expect cooler temperatures next week. See you next time.